Hello, writers and readers. I'm freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow, here with my weekly video about writing, editing, and the writing life. This week's video is a mini lesson on voice. One of the most frequent questions I get as an editor is what's the difference between author voice and character voice? Character voice refers to the unique way that a character speaks and expresses themselves and reflects their personality and perspective. This is usually found through the character's dialogue and, if they're the POV character, in their internal narration, also called the narrative text. Character voice will be different for various characters in your stories and even among characters in the same story. There are many books that are known for their strong character voice, and these are often ones that are written in the first person, but not exclusively. Some recent examples include Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson, which I loved, Florida Woman by Deb Rogers, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Authorial voice, on the other hand, is not limited to one book, nor is it limited to one character. It's a distinctive writing style and tone that an author brings to their work, including their vocabulary, their sentence structure, their narrative approach, and what types of literary devices the author likes to use. This remains consistent throughout the book, regardless of which character is speaking or as POV, and it frequently follows the author throughout their career. Though some authors have been known to have phases, just like Pablo Picasso had his blue period and his cubist period. When I was getting my bachelor degree in English literature, one of our frequent topics for exams was to be able to recognize what author wrote a passage, even though it was not a passage that we had read for class. We needed to be able to recognize out of context something we'd never read before, but say, oh, based on this distinct authorial voice, I know that it was a specific author. You can see this if you compare the sonnets of William Shakespeare to the sonnets of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. They're all sonnets, but they sound different. Or you could test this by pulling and comparing poems by Robert Burns versus Emily Dickinson, and you should be able to tell them apart pretty easily. People talking about writing today can have fun experiments in the voice if you ask your computer to rewrite a passage you wrote and have them write it in the voice of Jane Austen versus have them write it like Sophie Kinsella would, or write it like Sylvia Morena Garcia. And just imagine how different the same, oh, I walked in and sat down and had a ham sandwich would be based on all those different writing styles. Some tips for improving your character voice is to make sure you're going through the scenes through your POV character's perspective and picking out details and phrasing things using the vocabulary and types of analogies that that specific character would draw, rather than phrasing it how you, the author, would write them. This will enhance your character voice and make sure that each character, through their dialogue and through their actions, is sounding authentic and three-dimensional. Tips for improving your authorial voice is harder, because authorial voice is what seeps through the cracks and is often something that you, the author, are not intentionally doing when you're writing. One thing I do when I'm working with clients, especially with copy edits, is to help them identify pull quotes, which are quotes from the book that they may want to use in promotion in their social media that I think are fun. Frequently, these pull quotes are ones that are very reflective of the author's voice. The best way to compare character voice to author voice is to compare multiple books by the same author. If the characters sound the same, then they're not doing a great job of character voice. But if the characters all sound different, but the work itself leaves you, the reader, with the same feeling and it has the same kind of look and feel, and the readers have the same experience, then that's authorial voice. I like to compare character voice and how readers describe, like a mugshot, a physical description that includes emotions of that character. In Catcher in the Rye, Holden Caulfield's voice is cynical and sarcastic and frustrated, and this reads as very realistic because he's a teenager. But meanwhile, J.D. Salinger's authorial voice is more like a self-portrait rather than a mugshot. It has a conversational tone. He uses direct language. He has an inner reflective perspective. Okay, so there's the mini lesson on voice, the differences between character voice and authorial voice. Tune in to this YouTube channel next week when we dive into our genre of the month, time travel. Join me then, or you can join me in the future, or you can join me in the past, because if time travel exists, then this video already exists in some version in the universe, even though I haven't made it yet. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share to this channel. I post new content every week on writing, editing, and the writing life. This is Miranda Darrow wishing you happy writing.